SH Figaurts review. This is the SH Figaurts Iron Man Tony Stark. Yeah, pretty cool. Started releasing more, actual figures with heads. They did do a Captain America where you can swap the head with just a Chris Evans head, but it didn't look quite like him. They did Black Widow with an actual face, that's cool. And now we have like a more casual Tony Stark, one that's not actually in armor. So are we gonna eventually get like a Bruce Banner Figaurts, or like just Steve Rogers Figaurts or something? Who knows? How about Nick Fury Figaurts? We already have Mace Windu's same bloody head sculpt. Just use that, add an eye patch or something. Anyway, here's Iron Man. The SH Figaurts tagline is still on the box, on the top though. Tony Stark. Big box, it's cool. The price is similar to all the other Marvel Figaurts that came out recently, just this has way more stuff in it. Way more stuff in it. Look, it says, has Tony powered stage. That's cool. Picture of the figure on the side there, and a sort of a filtered picture on the side here, and just more gold text on the back. Pretty heavy box, by the way. This is hefty. You have Tony Stark turning in his signature poses and trying out his Iron Man parts. So open that up. From the shop I bought it from, Cougar Toys, they were still talking about how people want this figure for the head, to put the head on different things and stuff. Like that was the main highlight, just for the head. As long as the head was good, that's what people wanted, but not me. I wanted this figure because, me, I when I have time eventually, I do little bits of animation here and there, and having an actual Tony Stark figure is good for that, not just the armor. So here's the instruction sheet. As always, if you want to take a look at photos and photo shoots of the box art, the instruction sheet, as well as the figure itself, by all means head over to the Facebook or Flickr link in the video description below. Yeah, there's a lot of English here. I don't see any bad English here. The English was unfortunately good on this box, oh well. So, pop this up, and you see the bottom tray, you really get a lot of stuff here, is the whole assembly for you to build the pieces. You got 6 of these pieces, 2 plug into one. These 2 halves separate from each other as well, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, and you go all the way around in a circle, and then you get this piece, and you plug it in the middle. The whole base thing. So this one opens easily, and there's no fear here because all these are big pieces, so you can open this very easily. You go, put all these pieces there. As for the top half here, just put your hand down, and there's a lot of clips on this box actually. Come on, come on, and come on. One more. Pop. And when you pop this open, you can see that, nothing's falling out as long as you do it the way I do it. All the hands are still in the correct position, and, you surprisingly you really get a lot of stuff here. This is no simple release. This is what I expect from SH Figaurts. Every time people say, oh, why are you so harsh on certain figures and stuff, this is the amount of stuff I want to see in every single SH Figaurts for the relatively same price. So we got the figure here, we got the fists already on the body, and you got spray open hands, we got item holding hands, that's great. As for the Iron Man bits, you also have, let's see, is that fists or item holding? That's a fist. Spray open hands there. So no item holding hands for the Iron Man figure, but I'm sort of okay with that because these Iron Man bits are from Mark 42, which has already been released. So instead of what I sometimes expect from SH Figaurts, like you buy the Tony Stark figure, it comes with the base, and if you want him to dress up bits of Iron Man suits, you have to buy the SH Figaurts Mark 42. But instead here, they've given us the parts from that figure. So I think that's a great thing that they've done here. It's something I want SH Figaurts to keep in terms of quality, but these days, I sort of expect them to cheap out, but I'm so happy that they didn't cheap out and gave us all these parts. So, let's go for articulation. Got double neck joint here, up, down, up, sideways, full rotation really, but you hear that? Yeah, that means really tight plastic. Maybe a bit too tight. Might need to oil it up a little bit just because. Shoulder, got a double ball joint and this little extra bit there just to even out the shape of the figure. That looks a bit weird. Not as bad as some other figures, like the Bruce Lee one, but it's still noticeable. But it's okay. They've hit it a lot better than previous Figaurts, so that's good. So shoulder rotation there, up, back, slight rotation here. Doop, 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 doop. Double elbow joint, but do be careful because his skin does get in the way there. So just make sure that this piece goes underneath when moving it back down. And rotation here, just because this is how the joint works. You can remove this arm later, but it's got the side effect of having an extra rotating joint there. Hand is on a little swiveling ball peg joint. Again, you hear that? Yeah, that's very bad. Ball peg here. Again, quite tight, but the good side is the shirt does cover a lot of joints. Hear that? That's no good. This pants piece here is like a rubbery plastic because it's meant just to avoid stopping articulation and also cover up some of the joints. But it does the job okay, but it still looks like he's wearing like Speedos or something. Yeah, the foot's on like a ball peg. Got a rotating joint there. Double knee joint. Foot goes up, down, and toe goes up too. And you got the whole shoe pattern there. This leg's, this leg's okay, but you hear this one? Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's terrible. You might even think that's, oh, it's got like a clicky joint. No, that's just how tight the plastic is. I guess Robert Downey Jr. is pretty old. He's like cracking all over, like, oh, I'm so old. So how hard is it to swap the arms? Well, there you go. That came off pretty easily. Let's give him an Iron Man arm thing. Plug that in. Now plugging is a little bit harder. As for the foot, I am scared to put too much force on it. I don't want to break it. But you see this big joint there? It should be quite secure. Come on. Come on. Plug back in. Really tight. Let's see if he's standing straight. That's an indication of I've plugged it in far enough, because if his one foot is longer, yes, still longer. So I'm going to have to do it off camera because it's pretty hard to do it on camera. I think it's in all the way. Okay, it's all the way in now. So now he's got a bit of Iron Man suits on him. In terms of articulation on the Iron Man stuff, this is just a solid ball peg. It's not even on a swiveling joint or anything. In fact, I guess, yeah, it's just ball. This one's just a hole, so the articulation here is quite limited, really. The armor pad there does flick up to, you know, not get in the way of articulation, but that's it. It's just a simple ball peg, so you can't really move your hand too much because, you know, it gets in the way. It just stops. As for the Iron Man feet, sideways, toe goes really down. This foot's actually broken. Toe goes up a little bit, and you got a hole there. So if you have any of the Iron Man figures with the effects parts that come with them, then you can plug them in there. But yeah, articulation here is very, very iffy with this figure. And before we move on to the final bit, let's take a look at this plate here, this display stand thing, and it looks pretty good. It's very standard. Once it's built, it's very secure. That's what it looks like underneath. There's no holes anywhere for a Tamashii stage jack, which is a bit of a downer. You know, these things usually have like a hole somewhere. So yeah, it really could have done with a Tamashii stage arm being able to plug into this, but it doesn't. So that's what you get. The Tony Stark Figaurts is pretty good overall. The face print is very detailed. It looks very much like Robert Downey Jr. The eyes might be a little bit off on mine, but other than that, it looks pretty good. But as always with these sort of more, you know, like brown or blondish hair on SH Figaurts, they put shiny paint in there. I don't get it. So his hair just looks greasy or obviously plasticky. It doesn't look that good. The hair is the worst part of this figure. The Iron Man bits swap on pretty easily, but the articulation on the hand leaves much to be desired. It just doesn't quite work. I don't think the original one's hands was like that. The Mark 42. I could be wrong, but I really don't think it's like that. So it's a little bit annoying that it's like this, but it's still a nice accessory to have, that you don't have to have Mark 42 or another Iron Man figure just to do swap hands and stuff. So it's good that it's there. It's just a little bit disappointing the way it's been done. The base is pretty nice. It gets the job done. I do wish there was a hole in it for a Tamashii Stage Jack pin to plug into it. Or I also wish that the edges of it had some transparent plastic, so even though it doesn't have any lights, I can easily add lights to it. But as of right now, the only way to add lights to it properly is to actually cut the plastic, replace it with some transparent ones, and then put some LEDs underneath afterwards, which is going to be a huge pain, and not many people are going to be able to do that because they don't have the skill or don't want to bother doing that. The figure itself, the joint has the far too tight problem. That's terrible, but the overall shape of the figure is pretty good, and they have, despite having all the joints visible, they have managed for the most part make it look decent and not too distracting. And one last nitpicky bit is the chest piece on Tony Stark before he moves the chest. That just doesn't look really good. It just looks off. I know you're not meant to see any of the details of the chest piece because it's underneath the shirt, so it's just meant to be glowing through the fabric. But it just looks a little bit off and not quite right. I can't pinpoint what it is. It's just not that good. But like I said, it is a nitpick. So overall, if you like what you see here, you're an Iron Man fan, or you're a Robert Downey Jr. fan, this is a pretty good figure out overall. I just hope that your figure isn't as tight as mine. I'm going to have to find something to loosen it before I break some of the plastic, because I don't want to break it.